What are you doing? Good morning, Barry. Ready for milking? Come here, Barry.
Can I go?
So we're gonna make a couple different kinds of ginger bugs. We're gonna do one just classic ginger soda, one lavender lemon balm ginger bug, and then one wild blueberry from some of our blueberry syrup that we canned up back in January. For this, it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna take about a 1/4 cup of strained ginger bug starter per 16-ounce bottle and then top it with my juice. It's important to make sure the juice is sweetened so that it ferments. I'm just gonna infuse them in pint masons, each flavor, and then strain it out and then put it in my bottles. I'm gonna start with grating up some ginger in both my ginger soda flavor and also in the blueberry syrup because I'm gonna make that one gingery as well. I'm gonna take a nice hunk of fresh ginger. I bet you could do this with dried root too. Lemon balm and lavender next. All right, I'm just gonna eyeball this lavender, maybe a good tablespoon. I don't want it to be super overpowering, but I do want to be able to taste it. And then to the blueberry, I'm gonna add a little bit of our canned syrup once I strain out that ginger base. So I'm gonna make it based with ginger root too, like my ginger soda, but I'm gonna add a little bit of blueberry flavor to it. I do need to strain this out. I'm gonna use about a 1/4 cup per 2 cups. So each of these pint masons are about 2 cups, which is about the liquid in one of my little bottles here. I'm just gonna infuse them right in here. I'm gonna pre-sweeten them while they're infusing so that gets nice and melted while it's hot. A couple tablespoons of brown sugar. My lavender lemon balm. Again, the blueberry is a ginger base, and then I'm gonna add my syrup when it's all nice and strained out. I'm gonna let these infuse and cool almost completely cool because I don't want it hot when I put my ginger bug in there. I'm gonna strain out my ginger bug. Okay, so about a 1/4 cup for each bottle. Looks good. I'm gonna feed this quickly, and the way you feed these ginger bugs is the same way that I made it. You just do it every day. A healthy tablespoon. Alright, I'm gonna throw this grated ginger, peel and all. Good tablespoon of brown sugar. And then some cool water, maybe like 2 tablespoons. And you can put your ginger bug in the fridge if you want to slow it down, and then you only have to feed it about once a week or so. If it's on your counter, you got to feed it about once a day. All right. This is just going to hang out on my counter while I wait for all of my flavors to cool here, and then I will bottle these up. While we're waiting for those to cool, we're going to make a quick ginger tea for us. We make a lot of really warming ginger teas in the winter. And then one of our favorites, which we are running out of, our winter honey, with cinnamon rose hips and ginger root. I'm actually going to steal the whole cinnamon stick out of it and let that infuse in there. Okay, and then I'm just going to put some hot water in this, let it steep with the cinnamon and the ginger and the rose hips and the honey, and then strain it out. So I am gonna actually go ahead and strain these out. They're not as cool as I want them to be yet, but I don't want to get too potent of a lavender flavor, especially because it can be kind of overpowering. So I got my cheesecloth covered pint. There's my lavender and lemon balm. Both really nervine, soothing herbs and calming. Lemon balm is great for your digestive system. It's very soothing if you have stomach upset or stomach spasms. Same with lavender. So I think it will be great for like a probiotic soda, which is also good for your gut. I'm gonna cap it again and just kind of let it cool off. This one, the just ginger ale one, we're gonna strain out too. Ooh, that smells great. Oh my gosh. You know, Lena is super excited for pizza and movie night. There's our tea. Hot. I'm gonna cap that while it infuses just lightly. And that will be ready in a few minutes for us. Lavender. I'm actually going to pop these outside, let them cool down completely, and in the meantime, I'm going to get started on my pizza sauce while we wait for this tea to infuse. So for our pizza sauce, we just do a super simple red sauce, but I like to roast my garlic before I start it. So I just turn my oven to 350, put a little tallow or butter on a whole bulb of garlic and roast it in there until it's nice and golden, and that will be my base for my pizza sauce. All I do when I roast my garlic is I just take the tops off each of the cloves. And a little bit of tallow. I don't really time my garlic, I just go by smell and I'll take a peek at it. And as long as they're kind of gold and soft, I think they're done. That's yummy. But a quarter cup of ginger bug in each bottle. I'm gonna start with my just plain ginger. This is the bug. And I'm gonna top it with my juice. There's one. I'm gonna do my lemon balm and lavender. My infusion. Now with my blueberry, I'm gonna add some syrup in here before I put it in. Some of our canned blueberry syrup from some berries we foraged. Is that a good bit? Let's get it nice and blueberry-like. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. Okay, so these are gonna sit until I see a good amount of bubbles on the top, maybe 1 to 3 days, and then I'm gonna transfer it to cold storage, get it nice and chilled, and they'll be ready to try. It's important to burp them from time to time so you don't get too many gases built up, but I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. Nice and roasted. I'm gonna start with butter because I don't have any olive oil, but you could use olive oil for sure. Get that melted, and then I'm just gonna get all these cloves out and throw them in the butter. I like to season my oil for my pasta or my pizza sauce, so I'll add some oregano and basil right to this butter and this garlic. Kind of just cook it on really low for about 5 minutes, and then I'll just throw my diced tomatoes, a couple of cans, in there, and I'm also gonna do a little bit of chicken bone broth for some flavor. Simmer that down and then maybe whip it up a little bit to get rid of those chunks. And add a little honey. So we like a sweet, like almost like a marinara. We canned this, I don't know, maybe like 2 months ago. Salt. I'm gonna let it simmer for a good like 20 minutes. And while this is going, we're gonna start on some sauerkraut, just a quick batch, because I have these cabbages and they're going bad, so I want to get them shredded up and preserved. I'm just gonna whip this up really quick. Sauerkraut is so easy. All you need is a mason jar. You don't need any fancy fermenting equipment. All I'm going to do is I'm going to shred this cabbage up, put it in my bowl here, and then add about a hefty tablespoon of salt per 2.5 pound cabbage head. So I have about 1 to maybe like 2 hefty tablespoons for this. So I'm gonna shred all these cabbages, throw them in the bowl, add my salt, mix it around, let it sit and get really juicy. And then I'm gonna massage that with my hands and just stuff it in my mason jar. And then the biggest thing for this is just to make sure the mason jar is clean, the bowl is clean that you're using, and when you stuff that cabbage down, you're gonna really pack it down so that brine comes up and over the cabbage. You want it all submerged in the liquid so that it ferments correctly and you don't have any mold or you don't have to toss the batch. So I'm gonna get going, shredding this up and making some more ferments for us. Meaning to do this for a while. One thing I like to do is to save an outer leaf from one of these cabbages, a nice big leaf, and then I'll use that to press the rest of that under that brine in the jar so it stays nice and submerged. So like this, I'll just take this thing, break it off, and I'll save this and I'll use that to press it down. We're gonna get going on the rest of these cabbages.
degrees.
So after I get this salt nice and mixed in here, I'm gonna let this sit about 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna massage the juices out of this as best I can and then stuff it into my mason jar. So my immersion blender broke and Dennis went ahead and fixed it for me with his drill. I'm adding a little bit of honey to this sauce to kind of sweeten it up. All right, that is nice and mixed in. I'm gonna just simmer it for a little longer. You gonna try it for our pizza tomorrow? Thumbs up?
Mm-hmm. Good.
So with cabbage or with sauerkraut, it's really up to you how long you want to let it go before you eat it. We like a nice sour sauerkraut, so we feel like anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks or even longer is when we will start to taste test our kraut and then move it to cold storage. Sauerkraut's great. It's wonderfully rich in probiotics. It's great for your gut. It's good for immune health. Really high in vitamin C. I think higher than a lot of foods, lacto-fermented sauerkraut. Okay, this is pretty well massaged. I'm gonna start filling up my jar. Wonderful. I'm gonna take my weight. If you don't have a fermenting weight, you can use like a clean flat stone. Take this. Push the kraut under my leaf here. Throw a weight on top just to make extra certain. And then I'm just gonna cap this, and then you burp this, or just lightly open the jar every now and again. If you don't have an airlock, like a fermenting lock, like myself right now. And we're done. Sauerkraut. Okay, it is about 9 or 10 in the morning right now. We are ready to start going on our pizza dough for pizza night. I have my nice active starter. How long your starter takes to get active is going to depend on how hot and humid your house is. This one is nice and bubbly. You'll see the bubbles all over the side on the top, and then when you move the starter, it kind of clings to the sides of the jar. That's how you know it's active. So I'm going to go ahead and add about half a cup to a good cup of this active starter. And then to that active starter, I'm gonna add a good couple cups of water. Just cool water, does not have to be lukewarm. I'm just gonna mix it up really good. Do you wanna mix for me? Now we're gonna add a little salt. Do you wanna add it?
I know how much, just a little bit. Salt, rain.
Okay, I think we're gonna add our flour.
Yeah.
Here's
Like the pizza.
yum. And I just mix this until a shaggy dough forms, no kneading required, and then you're just gonna cover it for about an hour and a half and then do your first stretch and fold. You wanna do a little mix-in, Lene? You can help me with my stretch and folds, okay?
Yeah, and we gotta put flowers on our hands.
Good job. And then that's gonna raise. Okay, we're gonna make a little kettle corn to go with our movie night tonight. It's super easy. I just take a good couple tablespoons of butter, put it in a pan over medium. I'm gonna add a couple kernels to the pan and test them. Wait for them to pop. I'm gonna add about a quarter cup of these popcorn kernels. And I'm also gonna add a good couple tablespoons of this sugar, or coconut sugar. I'm gonna dust a little cinnamon on here too. Good, thumbs up.
I love it, it's good.
So maybe a little bit more coconut sugar next time, but it's still good.
Try one of the sugary pieces. It's definitely better than it would be without it. Maybe a little more.
So for my stretch and folds, I just gather the dough up on one side and then pull it over and rotate the bowl. All right, we are going to divide this into 4. This recipe makes 4 pizzas and then shape them into balls and then refrigerate them for about 1 to 24 hours. I'm gonna pop them outside on the cooler for about an hour and then we will stretch out our dough. Okay, I'm gonna go pop these out on the porch to chill for about an hour before I make my pizzas. We're just gonna whip up a little hot chocolate. I just take a little bit of raw cacao, some honey, a little unrefined salt, and cinnamon, and just stir it in mugs. Alright, these have been chilling for about an hour. I'm going to take them in here, let them get room temp for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to start stretching out my pizzas. Are you going to pick out what we're going to grow, Lena?
Yeah.
I'm going to dust a little bit of dill on here too. So we made this super simple roasted garlic tomato sauce yesterday. Got a little mozzarella, a little bit of Parmesan Reggiano. All right, I'm gonna pop these in our nice preheated oven at 450 for about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna check them and see how they're doing. I think that this bottom rack is done. That one. Okay, got it. Okay, let's get that salmon. All right.
Oh, that smells good.
I can add anything on my pizza.
Anything you want on your pizza.
Cheese. A little bit of this cheese.
That. Ooh.
And I will add 1 olive in the middle. Done.
Done?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Okay. Lena's pizza. Okay, I think Dennis and I are gonna try the salmon pizza. Lena's gonna have a piece of plain and she wants to try the wild blueberry soda first. So we'll pop that one open. Plain too. Goes Lena's. Okay, I'm excited to open this soda. We'll see how it did.
Tastes like a real soda.
Awesome.
I'm gonna try this piece. What pieces is this?
That one's just plain.
Mmm.
Tell me what you think.
I'm gonna take it.
It's really gingery, but really good.
Is it?
Yeah, like really good. It's hard to describe. It's almost like a
Is
a ginger beer with a hint of blueberry. It's really good.
Good.
It's like a real soda.
Yeah. It's like a very deeply flavored ginger beer. I like that. I would make that again for sure. Just salmon and cream cheese can't really beat salmon and cream cheese.
Cheers.
That's like a family cheers.
I'm gonna go with the olive, I think. Reminds me of like New England pizza.
Yes. All right, we are gonna have some popcorn, watch some secondhand lions, and we hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll see you next week.